any ideas of some things that he can do to when he gets tongue-tied?
Yeah, I think there are some useful things you can do. I mean,
yeah, I think there are some useful things you can. Why can't I remember any of the words I just heard? I know these words, but it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. This is so frustrating. Can you relate to this? As language learners, we're exposed to new words all the time. We know and understand the meaning, but when it comes to speaking, it's like the words just vanish. Well, in today's lesson, I'll walk you through some simple and practical tips that will help you remember new vocabulary easily. But before we get started, each week we create lessons like this to help English learners like you go from feeling like a lost and insecure English learner to being a confident and natural English speaker. So if this sounds like something that you want to do, then join our community of over 300,000 by hitting that subscribe button and bell down below so you never miss out on any of our new lessons. How to remember advanced words if you're a podcast lover. Listening to podcasts is a fun and effortless way to learn new vocabulary. You might be tempted to go straight to listening to podcasts created for English speakers. However, unless you're an advanced level student, this will be an ineffective and frustrating way to learn. If you get confused, you might stop paying attention and won't take in the new vocabulary you're learning, just like I demonstrated earlier on in this lesson. So, it's very important that you listen to content that is suited to your level. Although podcasts are an excellent way to learn new vocabulary in subjects that you're interested in, these words won't stick unless you engage with them. So write down new words you come across in a notebook or use an app like Anki, which uses flashcards to help you remember words easily. A useful feature of podcasts is that they can be played at a slower speed. This will give you time to write down any new words you hear, and it will also give you a better understanding of how each word is pronounced. Then, if you still aren't sure what they mean, pause the audio and look the words up. Since you have already heard these words in context and made an effort to absorb them, you are more likely to remember them. Many of the best podcasts designed for learning English, like our RealLife English podcast on our app, come with a written transcript. Try reading along to a podcast and you'll be learning how to read and pronounce words simultaneously. It is difficult to know how to pronounce words just by seeing them written down. Reading along or shadowing to a podcast is an easy way to get used to tricky pronunciation rules. Looking in a mirror while repeating the words you're hearing in a podcast is a great way to memorize the words as well as get comfortable with the language. This is great, however, sometimes it's better to practice the new vocabulary with another person. That's why we've created the RealLife English app. This 5-star app is the only place where anytime, anywhere, at the press of a button, you can connect with English learners from around the world. You can have fascinating conversations about new vocabulary you've learned, or your culture, your hobbies, absolutely anything. And the best part is that the RealLife app is a free resource that you can use to improve your speaking right now. So download it for free by clicking up here or down in the description box below, or simply look for RealLife English in your favorite app store. How to remember advanced words if you're a movies and series lover. Movies and series are packed with examples of language use in real-life conversation. So this is definitely a useful and enjoyable way of learning English. But you might be wondering what technique to use to get the best results when watching movies and series. Well, first choose a scene no longer than 5 minutes and watch it in English without subtitles. Write down the words and expressions that you understood. Then try writing a little paragraph in English about what you understand is happening. Now watch the scene with subtitles in your language and compare the scene script with the words and paragraph that you wrote down. Watch the scene in English without subtitles as many times as you need to and write down all of the words and expressions that you understand. Do this exercise for about 30 minutes of study time. Try to infer the meaning of the words and expressions that you wrote down. Remember, whenever possible, to write down the words and expressions in context, as this will make it easier to remember the feelings and ideas linked to the words. And speaking of feelings, another way to remember vocabulary is to connect emotionally with what you are hearing or watching. This emotional tie between you and the words makes it easy to remember them in future. For example, if you love the Netflix series Bridgerton, it might be easier for you to remember the formal language used in the show than it is for someone who has no interest in it. So find films and series that you are interested in it and try this technique. Before you continue watching, why not pause this video and let us know down in the comments what methods you use to remember new vocabulary. Share your answer below and don't forget to add an encouraging message to the other members of the community. How to remember advanced words if you're a social media lover. To improve your English with social media, start by following accounts that post in English. Whether that's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, it doesn't matter. And of course, try to interact with them. It's free and your brain already sees this activity as a habit. It's already part of your day-to-day life, right? So you can just do what you're used to doing, but in English. Small changes like this can have a huge impact on your language learning. Without even realizing it, you're creating a language immersion environment. The key is to engage with the content regularly, as this is the best way to retain the new words you're learning. This means commenting on posts, watching videos, and participating in Instagram polls or questions. If you come across an unfamiliar word, try to figure out what it means in the context of the picture or post. If it's slang or a trendy new word, you might find that it's used in other posts as well, and this would make it easier to remember the meaning. If the word is completely unfamiliar, look up the meaning and try to associate it with the post or picture you saw, as this will help you connect the word to the visual aspect. You could also comment on the post so that you actively participate in using the word. So there you have it, 3 fun methods that you can use to improve your English and learn tons of new vocabulary. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson as much as I did. Make sure you like this video and share it with a friend who is also learning English. To continue your learning, watch this lesson next. Hey real lifers! Today we're going to learn about the schwa sound. So repeat after me. Great!
So the schwa sound is just a
Yeah, why is it important for me to know this silly sound?
Well, the schwa sound is the most common vowel sound in the English language, and it is a very important part of speaking English naturally and fluently.